Hey, hello, welcome to Germany from the couch.
Today we're doing a deep dive into something that's become a really defining feature of the German labor market lately, and that's record high sick leave.
Yeah, you hear that phrase, sick man of Europe, getting thrown around a lot, but usually it's about the economy. This time, it feels like it's literally about the workforce being sick.
It really is. And our mission today is to kind of dissect the system and, the culture behind it. Why can German workers take so much more paid time off for illness compared to, well, almost anywhere else?
Especially when you look at it from an Asian or an American perspective, it's just mind-boggling. The numbers alone are pretty staggering.
They are. We've got data from Des Status, and it shows that in 2023, the average German worker was sick for 15.1 days.
15.1. That's an all-time high, right?
An all-time high. It's a huge jump from just 11.1 days back in 2021, so something has definitely changed.
So just think about that. That's 3 full work weeks gone. And the OECD data backs this up. Germany is losing, what, almost 7% of its weekly work time to illness.
It's 6.8%, which puts it right up there globally. And this isn't just an abstract number. It had a real impact. It contributed to a 0.8% drop in output and helped push the economy into a 0.3% contraction last year.
So it's a measurable drag on the entire country?
Exactly. It's the cost of Germany's social contract, and we need to understand what's actually making people so statistically sick. It's not just a bad flu season.
Okay, so let's get into that. What are the main culprits? Is everyone just catching more colds, or is there something deeper going on?
It's a bit of both, but the duration is really the key.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, respiratory diseases, your common coughs, colds, flu, they're the most frequent reason. The AOK data for this year already showed 75 cases for every 100 people.
Right, that happens everywhere. But a cold is a few days. That doesn't add up to 15 days a year.
Exactly. The short-term stuff isn't what's driving the total days lost. The real productivity drain comes from the long-term illnesses, and they really fall into two big categories.
Let me guess. Back pain and burnout.
You nailed it. Musculoskeletal disorders, or MSK, which is basically German for Rückenschmerzen, back pain, and mental illnesses.
The classic modern afflictions.
For sure. An average case of back pain leads to almost 16 days of absence. And for older workers, say 60 to 64, it's almost a quarter of all their sick days.
And I bet if you map that, it lines up perfectly with Germany's industrial heartland, doesn't it?
It's a direct correlation. It's endemic in male-dominated jobs, heavy industry, construction, logistics, jobs with real physical demands. This is the accumulated cost of being an industrial powerhouse.
Okay, so that's the physical side. What about the mental load? The numbers on stress and depression are getting pretty scary.
They're climbing fast.
Yeah.
We're already at 15 cases of mental illness per 100 people this year, which is more than all of last year. And this is what leads to those really long absences. This is where the system starts to, really feel the financial strain.
And where does that psychological load hit the hardest?
It's highest in female-dominated high-contact jobs. Think healthcare, social work, teaching, fields where you're dealing with a lot of emotional stress, often for lower pay.
So the German economy is basically split. You've got the industrial sector with broken backs and the service sector with burnout.
That's a pretty good summary, yeah. The data shows two very different kinds of strain.
All right, so that explains what's happening. But now for the big question, the one every manager outside of Germany asks, why are people so comfortable taking the time off? How can they afford it?
This is the absolute core of it. It's the structural difference. The German system is just built on this principle that getting sick shouldn't mean financial disaster.
Okay, so break down that generosity for us.
For the first 6 weeks, that's 42 calendar days,
Yeah.
your employer is legally required to pay you 100% of your salary.
100%. No questions asked.
Full stop. No waiting period, no deductions.
And I just want you, the listener, to pause and compare that. In many other European countries, like Italy or Spain, they have what are called carent stage.
Right, waiting days,
Yeah.
where you get zero pay for the first day or 2 or sometimes even 3 days.
Which means if I have a bit of a cold in Madrid, I'm probably going to drag myself to work because I can't afford to lose that pay. In Germany, that entire incentive to work while sick is just gone.
It's not just gone, it's reversed. The cultural expectation here is that if you're sick, you stay home. Don't infect your colleagues. The system is designed to support that.
And what happens after those 6 weeks are up?
Then your public health insurance, the Krankenkasse, takes over. You start receiving Krankengeld, which is sick pay from the insurance.
Yeah.
It's not your full salary, but it's about 70% of your gross pay, so it's still a very strong safety net for long-term illness.
Okay, but let's talk about something that's made this system maybe a little too easy to use, the digital sick note.
Ah, yes, the EAU, the electronic certificate. This was a huge digitalization push during the pandemic, and the idea was convenience.
But critics say it made it too convenient. You could just get a doctor's note over the phone.
Sometimes, yeah, a phone call, an online form. And this is where businesses get really frustrated. The CEO of Mercedes-Benz pointed out that their German plants have absence rates that are sometimes double their other European factory.
And they blame the easy sick note for that. The perception is that people are abusing it for a few extra days off.
That's the perception, definitely. And it's led to a serious breakdown in trust.
So what are companies doing? Are they just complaining?
Oh, they're doing more than that. Some are fighting back with, well, corporate espionage.
You're kidding.
Not at all. They're hiring private detectives to investigate employees they suspect are faking it. The number of requests for this kind of service has almost doubled since the pandemic.
So you could literally have a private eye following you to see if your bad back is holding up while you're, I don't know, renovating your house or playing golf.
That is the exact scenario they're looking for. It's a wild response, but it shows you how high the stakes are for employers.
Now, to be fair, we should get the official view from the insurance companies. Are they seeing widespread fraud?
That's a key point. The AOK, which is one of the biggest insurers, says there is no hard evidence of rampant widespread abuse. But the perception among employers who are paying for those first 6 weeks, that remains incredibly high.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Germany's a big country. Do these sick rates look the same everywhere, or are there regional hotspots?
Oh, they vary dramatically, and the map basically confirms everything we've talked about with industry. The highest rates are concentrated in the east. Saxon-Anhalt is at the top with 7.8%, then Thüringen, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern.
The old industrial areas, more physical labor, more back problems, makes sense.
Exactly, but here's the paradox that I found fascinating. Where do you think the healthiest states are?
Probably the wealthy southern states. Bavaria, Baden-Württemberg.
You got those two right. But
Yeah.
the third one on that list is Berlin. All of them are down at 5.9%.
Berlin. No way. The city known for being relaxed, full of startups and foreigners. And it has one of the lowest sick rates. I thought for sure it would be the opposite. Does that mean foreigners are just working harder?
It's a great question, but it's not really about diligence. The analysis says it's down to a favorable age, gender, and industry structure.
Ah, so it's about the type of work again.
Precisely. The lowest sick rates in all of Germany are found in highly skilled academic jobs, professors, researchers, consultants. They average only 7.5 days off a year.
So it's the urban education effect. Cities like Berlin and Munich are packed with jobs in tech, finance, services, jobs where you're sitting at a desk, not lifting heavy things on an assembly line.
That's it. Compare Munich's low city rate to a place like Hagen, the traditional industrial city. Its rate is a staggering 29.2 days. They have far more cases of musculoskeletal issues because of the metal industry there. It's so clear. Your job can literally determine your health.
So with these huge costs, companies have to be doing more than just hiring private eyes. What's the proactive approach?
They are investing a lot in prevention. It's called betriebliches Gesundheitsmanagement, or BGM, corporate health management.
Right, and the government even encourages this, don't they?
They do. Employers can get a tax-free subsidy of up to 600 euros per employee per year to spend on health promotion.
600 euros. Wow. That shows you how much they want to avoid paying for those 6 weeks of sick leave. What does that money actually buy?
All sorts of things. Subsidized gym memberships at places like McFit, wellness programs like massages or even salt caves, healthy meal boxes, and, crucially, a big focus on mental health.
So apps like Headspace or coaching sessions to manage stress.
Exactly. And the insurance companies are all in on this too.
Yeah.
They have a huge vested interest in keeping you healthy.
Yeah, I've actually seen this myself. My insurer, the TK, has a bonus program. Last year, I just did my regular physical and a dental checkup, and they gave me 50 euros back in cash.
And that's their whole strategy. That 50 euro bonus is a tiny fraction of what they'd pay if you got really sick and needed that long-term Krankengeld. They're trying to incentivize prevention.
It all just paints this picture of a fascinating tension, doesn't it? You have this incredibly protective system that lets people recover without going broke, which is an amazing social good.
It is. And it creates a culture that's the complete opposite of what you see in many Asian workplaces, for example. There, showing up to work sick is often seen as a sign of loyalty, of dedication.
Whereas in Germany, if you show up sick, people look at you like you're a menace. The system and the culture both tell you, stay home, we'll take care of you, protect the group.
But the challenge now is that the cost of that protection is hitting all-time highs and visibly hurting the economy. The high sick rates aren't just a health statistic anymore. They're a direct line item on the country's productivity balance sheet.
Which leaves us with a really provocative final thought. How long can this incredibly generous, socially minded German model sustain itself against global competition and economic pressure without needing some kind of major adjustment? That trade-off is the real storm cloud on the horizon for Germany. Host speaker and expert speaker. That brings our deep dive to a close. We welcome your comments and thoughts on this topic. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.